Hey, in this video you're going to find out how to flip those adversity and hard times over so you're no longer a victim and you're no longer going to stay there, and you can find the gift in those hard, difficult times. Hey, I'm Stephen Webb, and if you don't subscribe to my channel, that sounds like a threat. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, please subscribe below. I'm an inner peace guide, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about hard times and adversity, and in particular 5 ways in which we can flip them around and turn them into our favour rather than allowing them to push us around. Rather than becoming the slave of the hard times, we take control of them. So sit back, enjoy, grab a cup of coffee, and let's begin. Number 1, the first thing and the most important thing about hard times is that they're temporary. They will not stay. Everything that we go through comes and goes. Even our life, we're not here forever. But the problem is when we're stuck in a really hard time, when we're going through a really bad patch, it's easy to think that we're stuck there. That's it. That's our lives now. And we tend to do that as a natural way of protecting ourselves. We're hardwired to see the negative. We're hardwired to see the downside of things in order to protect ourselves. So when we're going through a really hard time, our senses are more primed to look out for more hard times. So we get so used to it. But we're no longer living in woods where we're going to be eaten by bears on a regular basis. Well, you're unlikely to anyway. So we've got to remember that this time shall pass. It is only temporary. Just the same as the good times, they pass too. But whatever we're going through, whatever experience, it is temporary and it will change. Number 2 is realizing that no matter where you're to, you can only be here. Now then, you haven't got a time machine. Well, I very much doubt you have. You cannot go back and change the present moment. You cannot change your circumstances that you're in right now. You know, whether you're on the way out of it or whether you're on the way into it, you can still only be where you're to. And you can only start right where you're to. You can only start to do something about it. Now then, if you cannot do anything about where you're to, what's the point? Well, we can do something about what we do with where we're to. Now then, when I broke my neck 27 years ago, I wish, and I would have felt like punching him, don't get me wrong, but I wish someone had come along and told me when I was lying on the bed, so you're paralysed, what are you going to do about it? And that's the point. You're going through a hard time. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to gain from it? Then you can either run around in that hard time, in that adversity, complaining about it, or you can do something about it. And you've got the gift of awareness. You've looked up on the internet, you've come and searched my video, you're watching this right now. So you've got that wisdom that you want to do something about it. You recognize you're in this hard time and you don't want to stay there. Brilliant. That's the first step. The second step is now responding. Looking at the hard time you're going through, looking at what you're going through, or someone else, perhaps you're watching this video for somebody else. And now create that room for you to do something with it. So you can respond skillfully, with wisdom, instead of sitting there in this cage, very often like a victim does sometimes. They sit in this cage with the door wide open, and they're complaining to everyone that they're sat in this cage, and they can't even see the doors open. Only you can do something about this time. And you cannot change this moment. You cannot change right now. You can only change what you do in the next moment. And that's your responsibility. You cannot blame anybody if you're still here in a month's time. So number 1, it's temporary. Number 2, you cannot change the present moment. You can only do something with it in the next moment. Number 3, and this is probably the hardest one, and that's turning around and facing it. No longer resisting it. No longer, I don't want to be here. I use the analogy, have you ever been, or you can imagine, been on the beach and you've got the little slow river coming down one side of the beach, as very often they do. And we start building a little sand dam to keep the water in. And we do this as kids. And we're very successful to begin with. We dig a bit of hole and we got this little bit of water. But eventually what happens? Eventually every single time the dam breaks. Now then, those waters are your emotions. They are your troubles, the adversity, the hassle, the hard times. That's what the water is. The dam is your resistance. I don't want it. I don't like being here. I don't like going through this pain. I don't like being paralyzed. I don't like my condition. I don't like being ill. I don't like having my cancer. And these are horrible things to happen. But they're still there. You've still got them. Now then, you can hate the situation. You can hate your cancer. You can hate your disability. You can hate your hard time. You can hate the situation you're in. You can, whether it's with a partner or whatever, it doesn't matter, the job. You can absolutely hate it. That's fine. But don't hate it and continue to hate it and hate it and hate it and try to resist it. Turn around and face it and say, okay, I've got this. What am I going to do about it? Same as number two. Same as number two. But number three is turning around and facing it. Instead of trying to run away from it. The more we run away from something, the bigger and bigger and bigger it gets. And then it swamps us, just like that water on the beach in the sand. It will eventually drown us. Our troubles will drown us. That's why after so many weeks, you're doing really well, and then suddenly you're in a ball of a mess on the floor, on the kitchen floor, crying your eyes out because you cannot cope, because your emotions have took over. Now you can wait for the breakdown. It'll come. Or you can go, no, I've already suffered enough and I'm going to do something about it. But turn around and face it. Because when we face it, it's very often not as bad as what we think. And the more we resist something, the more we push it away, the stronger it becomes, the more it's there. So number one, it's temporary. Number two, you can't do nothing about it. You're already here. You haven't got a time machine. You can't go back and change it. And number three, turn around and face it. Look at it and say, I'm going to deal with you. Don't make it a demon. Turn around and face it. Number four, it might be saving you from something far worse. Now, we often get stuck in traffic, or we get stuck in some kind of the traffic lights, or traffic's the best scenario when we're stuck in traffic for an hour and we can't get to where we're supposed to do. How do you know that if you weren't stuck in traffic, you might have had an accident halfway down the road? One of my favourite quotes is by Jack McCormack. And he says, how do you know your bad luck hasn't saved you from even worse luck? And that's the truth. People often come to me and they say, you know, Stevie, I can imagine you would have been a wonderful businessman, or you would have been a great family member. You would have been really successful in life. And I say, how do you know? Because at 18, I was a real knob. At 18, I still am. Many times I still am. But anyway, let's get back to the video. That's my subconscious mind throwing that in, okay? I just thought I'd share that with you. You still are, Stevie. You still are. Yeah, when I was 18, I was a real knob then. And, you know, I could have ended up killing myself a week later in the car because I was driving like a bloody idiot at the time. I was invincible. I was 18, for Christ's sake. I was going to live forever no matter what. I was going to be rich and I was going to be everything while doing crazy things. How do we know the universe didn't have to break my neck in order to slow me down? How do you know that this video right now is what everything the universe has been working with me to make today? To save you. Or to save someone you know. Or someone in 2 years' time. We don't. So Don't look at your bad time as a bad time. Maybe it's exactly what you need to save you from something worse, or exactly what you need to build you for something that's bigger than your hard time at the moment. Perhaps as a child you were abused. Now, I haven't experienced that, so I don't know what that would be like. I don't know how bad it would be. But it's happened. And this is what many people in these situations tell me. They say, well, get the strength from it. And maybe whatever happened to you as a child was exactly what was needed to help someone in 30, 40 years' time. That strength. I don't know how the universe works. It's more complicated than I could ever think. So number one, it's temporary. This time shall pass. Number two, I forgot. Let me look. You cannot be anywhere else. The moment is the here now. You cannot change it. Number three, turn and face it. Don't resist it. Don't push it away anymore. Number five, really take a good look and stop looking at the alternatives through rose-tinted glasses. If I wasn't ill now, I'd be doing all these other amazing things. No bollocks would you. If you weren't ill now or you weren't going through this bad time, you'd probably be doing the same thing you've always done or done. Let's face it. We often think, well, if I didn't get ill, I would be doing this and I'd be traveling the world. No. We do those things because we get ill and we realise the importance of life. And number five, find the gift. Find the gift. This is like a build on number four. But I really do believe no matter what happens in life, no matter how bad it is, no matter how low, whether it's rock bottom, and that gift is the floor to stop you, no matter what, there's a gift. Maybe your dad treated you really badly when you were a child now, and I'm not saying that was okay. But I'm saying if you want to blame him for everything, blame him for making you strong and making you the person you are today. I'm not saying you need to shake his hand and say, thanks, Dad, for what you did. But don't just look at the negative of what they gave. Find the gift. And look at me, I'm 45 years old. I've been paralyzed 27 years. Where's the gift? The gift is my wisdom. The gift is my heart. My gift is I want to give to the world and make other people suffer less. My gift is I've got an open mind and I've had way more experiences from life than I ever would have done, having gone through life not been awake. You know, most people die at the age of 20 and they don't bury them till 60. I've been awake because I appreciate life. I live with gratitude every day. Wow, I'm alive. I'm here. What an amazing experience we're having. Do you know your 1 in 40 trillion chance of being alive? And you're alive a time with the internet. You're alive with a time with global communications. This world has been at more peace than ever before. May not seem like it, but it's a fact. Find the gift in every adversity. It may not be easy when you're going through it, but at some point there will be a gift. Then I would suggest you go over to my website, stephenwebb.com, and I've got a send your story. I'm going to do a book with everybody's stories this year. And in the book, it's going to be, do it about 500, 1,000 words. Tell me your hard time. And then tell me the gift. Tell me the flip. Flip it over. Because that's what this is about. You can either have it one way. You know, if you drop a plate on the floor and it's food face down, what is the first thing you do? You turn the damn thing over and we look at it differently. Okay, it's probably not the best analogy, but I'm going to leave it in anyway. So number one, it's temporary. It will move on. Number two, you can't change the present moment. It's happened. It's here already. Number three, turn around and face it. No longer resist it. Be part of it. So the feelings do not overwhelm you. There's a link below here to overwhelming emotions that might help. Number 4, it could be worse. You never know what this bad luck is saving you from. Look at it like that. You know, you could be stuck in traffic or be the one in the accident. Number 5, most importantly, find the gift. Find the gift and move on. Sometimes the only reason the adversity stays and the hard time stays is because we haven't found what we need to learn from it yet. Dig deeper, learn from it. Open your mind. I'm Stephen Webb, the Inner Peace Guide, and pop over to my website. I've got loads of blogs about helping you with this kind of thing. I've got a book out at the moment, How to Create Your Inner Peace. You can download it free. There's a link below. And yeah, subscribe to my channel. Pop over to Facebook. I go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Friday with my Q&A. And we just talk about stuff like this, helping people through some of the hardest time in life. It'd be lovely if you join us. Leave a comment, say hi, tell me if the video helped you at all. Take care. Namaste. Just a gentle reminder, I've got a new book out called How to Create Your Inner Peace. The kind of inner peace that gives you real freedom without anybody being able to take it away. You can download your book for free on sweb.me/book.